My name's Rebecca. Welcome to my sewing channel. On this channel, I like to make my own clothes, talk about the process, talk about what worked, what didn't, what fabrics are great, and a little bit of life. Today I'm going to talk to you about some great sources and suppliers of unique Australian fabrics. I have noticed that the wonderful designer Miss Moresby has gone global and people are really enjoying her unique designs. They're vibrant, they're creative, and people are really enjoying the quality of the fabric as well as the bright and original designs on them. So I thought I'd have a look into it and see if there are some other Australian designers who are really unique, and there are many. So let's start off with Miss Moresby, who I think a lot of people have heard of now. She is an Australian fabric designer. She is also an artist and designs other things aside from fabric as well. You can find her in many Australian fabric online stores, such as the Dahlia Society. And recently I had heard that you can now source her fabric from Beyond the Pink Door as well over in the UK. Australian fabric designs are often really bright and fun, perhaps a little bit wacky, sometimes geometrical. Sometimes they tell a story, like Indigenous art put into fabric or other home designs. So let's have a look at a few standouts. The ones I have for you today, I will put all the links below. And just to let you know, there are a few different price points on these designers. One Australian designer that I have spoken about before and used is Dupes designs. Dupes designs are really dopamine designs where the pattern and the colors are really bright and fun. You need to sign up to their newsletter to be alerted when they are putting out their next pre-order. Sometimes you can buy remnant pieces of fabric from them. You can also buy pre-made garments from them that they've made from their own fabrics. But mostly, if you want a good chunk of fabric, you need to wait for their pre-order time. You can choose the design in either a small or a large option, and you can choose your fabric base as well. It might be a French terry, my personal favorite, or it could be a linen, a cotton, a canvas, a twill. So Dupes design, lots of variations, not available all year round, but definitely one to keep an eye out for. The next one that lots of other Australian sewing bloggers talk about is Spotlight. Spotlight is a really general overall crafting fabric store here in Australia. It's easily available and accessible. You can go in store or order it online. Now, in Spotlight, they do support some Australian fabric designers, and these are the ones I have found online that I thought you might like. There is a wonderful designer called Jocelyn Proust, and she often designs native Australian flora. There's Ellie Whittaker, Laura Weiner, Catherine Quinn, who is actually a New Zealander, and there are some Indigenous designers. One particular group of various Indigenous artists from Central Australia and they are called Walukalengu Designs, and there will be various designers within that group. So all of those Australian fabric designers are available in the Spotlight stores. Another Indigenous group of artists are called Nagula Jadu, and they are based in Western Australia. I recently was given a pair of earrings based on an artwork, and it was the symbol of a woman for that particular Indigenous group of Australians. Nagula Jadu, if you go to their website, you can see artworks. You can also purchase fabric. You can purchase ready-made garments made from their fabrics, and you can purchase jewelry. I'll put in some pictures of all those things so you get an idea of what they're like. So they are based in Western Australia, which is the absolute opposite other end of the country to where I'm filming from. Another really, truly terrific independent Australian fabric designer is Molly Molly Fabrics. She also releases her fabrics, lots of her fabrics every now and then, but always has some sort of supply of her fabrics in her online store. Her designs are really bright and colourful, and she also designs fabric garment labels, and they often match the fabrics as well. So if that's really pleasing to you, have everything that matches, then go and have a look at Molly Molly Fabrics. Another group of Indigenous Australian artists are based in the Northern Territory, and they're called Injalak Arts. They are a creative hub centre, and again, they have various items that you can go and have a look at. Another Australian designer, artist and fabric designer is Kirsten Katz. So she is an artist, but also turns her artworks into products such as tea towels, fabric and homewares and things like that. Her designs are readily available on Spoonflower. Again, I'll put some photos in and I'll put the links below. Okay, the last three recommendations I have for you are actually my three favorites. There is an Australian fabric company called Melco Fabrics. So they make their fabrics on demand. They mostly use Australian milled cotton, as well as some other fibers, and they support a whole lot of different Australian artists by promoting their designs on their website, and then you can choose one of those artist designs and have it printed on demand on the fabric base that you want. So they have a carefully curated collection of colour with matched solids, rib knits and resant thread. They are promoted as eco-friendly because they can trace where they've gotten their fabric and their designs from, and they're ethically crafted. You can shop by artist. For example, one artist you may have heard of is Rachel Parker. There's lots and lots of bright, fun patterns, but there are also some really good solids available. The next recommendation I have for you focuses on the theme of rural Australia or country Australia, and they are called Red Tractor Design. I have purchased fabric from them before, as well as some of their other homeware products, And their cards are some of my favorite cards to purchase and write on and give away because they're really sweet. I recently put one of their cards in the little giveaway subscriber pack that I sent off to a viewer. So Red Tractor Designs focuses on Australian country. They're based in Mudgee, New South Wales. That's the state that I'm in. You can purchase their fabrics and their homewares. Their standouts are their cards, and I do love their tea towels. Somehow into a tea towel they've put just beautiful beautiful sentiments that sometimes almost bring a tear to your eye. I'll put in some pictures of those. Red Tractor Designs. The very last Australian company I have to recommend for you today has loads of dopamine fabrics. They sometimes have some ready to ship fabrics, but they also plan ahead for pre-orders, just like Dupes Design. And then they put it out to the public to order the design on the base they want. So they are called Karina and Kind. They do their pre-orders twice a month, and they have loads of Australian art fabrics. That is my little roundup of Australian themed designers. There are some very beautiful fabrics there, and there are some very joyful fabrics there as well. I hope you found something to inspire you today. Perhaps you'd like to support an Indigenous group in Western Australia or the Northern Territory, or perhaps you're going to try a totally different colour palette or theme that you'd not thought of before and branch out into something really bright and beautiful. If you think I've missed some really important Australian fabric designers, please put it in the links below. Or if there's something you have tried before and really liked, please let us all know. We'd love to be on board with things that have really worked with fabrics. I hope you've enjoyed this little recommendation video of great Australian fabric designers. I certainly enjoyed doing the research and reminding myself of what was out there, as well as finding a few new ones. It was really enjoyable, and I've got a whole lot of things in online baskets to inspire me. I hope you're enjoying what you're making and what you're wearing and finding joy in small things. Bye for now, everyone.